Now, one of the things I really love about this country is that our parliament is not exclusively the preserve of the elites or the major parties. Now, the price of that, of course, is we get some kooks and greens. I'm sorry, I am repeating myself, aren't I? As well as the major party apparatchiks. But we also get those rare gems, you know, those diamonds who find themselves in a place perhaps they never expected to really be, and they actually make a sacrifice to be there. Now, they're what I term the accidental candidates. I know they've put themselves forward, but they've put themselves up for election, perhaps not with the expectation of winning, but because they feel they wanted to contribute, they wanted to have a go and maybe have a say, and an election process gives them that chance. Now, we had a few of these at the last election, but perhaps none were as interesting as Ralph Babet. He's now a senator for Victoria, leader of the United Australia Party, and it's a Cinderella story, I've got to tell you. He was born in Mauritius. His first language was French. He came here to this country when he was 7 years of age. And since then, he established a successful family real estate business and now finds himself in the Australian Parliament. I mean, this is what is so good about this country. His maiden speech was full of table thumping. It was a tour de force of freedom and what many would label as traditionalist conservatism. Now, I'm delighted to say that Senator Ralph Babet joins me in the studio now. Senator, it gives me a great pleasure to give you that. This is an amazing story. I read your first speech. What made you want to go into Parliament and particularly run for the United Australia Party?
Absolutely. So what I saw in the United Australia Party was I saw a party that believed in traditional Australian values. That's what really drew me to the party. And of course, as you would know, the Victorian people suffered immensely under the Premier, Mr. Daniel Andrews, throughout 2020 and 2021. And that's what really drove me to become more interested in the political process. So I said to myself, more normal, regular, everyday people have got to take an interest in politics. They've got to throw their hand up and they've got to get in there. Because if they don't get in there, nothing is going to change. And that's what really drove me to get involved.
Good on you. When you put yourself forward, okay, I've been through this and I've had candidates put themselves forward. Did you really think you had a shot at winning, or is this something that's just gone, wow, my life is upended?
Look, I knew I had a good chance because we had a very strong platform. And what was our platform, Corey? Our platform was family values and Australia first. All of the candidates, every single one of us, we love our country. Every time I wake up in the morning, I say to myself, God, I'm lucky. I'm lucky to live in the best country in the world where anything that I want is only is within my grasp if I work for it, if I put in the work, if I get up early, if I go in early and I leave late. I love my country. That's
and
why.
It's wonderful that people are committed to it because you had a successful business there. I can tell you're in the real estate business where you're an auctioneer by any chance. Because you've got that cadence, I reckon. But you had a successful business, and it's very hard to get successful business people to have a crack at politics because it does upend their life. It changes their business. It can damage relationships. And
it's hard.
Yeah. How have you made that adjustment?
It's been very, very difficult. Obviously, you know, I've had to put my private life on hold and really dedicate myself to this cause, to representing my state and my country in federal parliament. I will tell you right now that it definitely wasn't easy. I've suffered a lot in my personal life. You know, my whole life is on display now for the public to see. So I'm doing this, I'm doing this because I care. I'm doing this because I want Australia to be better at the end of my term than what it was before. That's what I'm doing, at great personal sacrifice, but I'm willing to do it. And I would do it again every single time, because what I can see happening right now to our country, the direction that I can see our country going in, I'm not happy about it. And I know that a lot of people at home also aren't happy about it. So what I would say to them is get involved, put your hand up, get involved in the political process.
It's absolutely right. And can I say this? I like people with a bit of character, right? I don't always agree with their views, right? But I believe absolutely in freedom of speech.
Absolutely.
And people who have lived a life, whether it be a commercial life or reality, we all make mistakes. Some of them are on the public record, some of them are not. We do not want a parliament that is full of these lobotomised zombies on the Labor side, as Dougie Cameron once said, or these apparatchiks who have lived this sanitised life and tried to be pure as a driven snow because they want a political career. We need people who have experienced the thrills, the falls, the spills, everything about living in this great country.
That's right. We need people in Parliament today, right now, that are regular, average, everyday people from the suburbs, people that have lived the life in their community, people that have paid a mortgage, maybe missed a couple of bills at some point and said, you know what? I'm not happy about what's going on. And it can be whatever. I'm not happy about X, Y, Z in my community. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to put up my hand, Corey, and I'm going to run for, be it my state parliament. There's an election coming up in Victoria only a few months, and there's one coming up in New South Wales after that. Get involved, because if you want change, everyone at home, if you want real, measurable, actionable change, it comes from you. Doesn't come from me, doesn't come from the Labor Party, doesn't come from the Greens, doesn't come from anywhere else. It comes from you standing up and saying, I'm here, I'm upset, and I'm ready to work.
You're absolutely right. And more strength to your arm. This is not going to be the last time we're going to talk. I hope you achieve everything you set out to in the Parliament. Good luck with that. You'll get as frustrated as I was with it in the end, I'm sure. Senator Ralph Abetz, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for joining me tonight.